What's up, squad, and welcome to episode 17 of X Marks the Spot, your dedicated Xbox podcast here at youtube.com/InstallationX. I'm your host, your captain, your one-man band, Sykes, and I hope that whoever you are, wherever you are, and whatever you may be doing, you are safe and well. Don't forget, if you enjoy this video podcast, please make sure you leave a like, head over to InstallationX and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications of future uploads to support the channel and for more Xbox content. If you want to get involved in the show, then let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You can also send me your questions via email to xmarksthespotpodcast@gmail.com or tweet me at _installation_x. The best questions will be added to the show. And a reminder that if you need some crewmates to aid you in your gaming experiences, then you can send in your gamer tag and a description of the games you play and the people you are looking for to xmarksthespotpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll read them out at the start of every show. I hope you are well, squad. Apologies we didn't have episode 17 last week. I was busy with work stuff and other projects, and there wasn't really much going on, to be honest, apart from the odd little thing here, but I didn't feel it was necessary to do an entire show on it. But we have a couple of channel updates. I've been playing Battletoads, which was released last Thursday, and it is awesome. I'm absolutely loving it so far. My review video will be coming up in the next couple of days. I finished the game, but I'm currently writing up the script. I've written the script. I just need to edit through things now, and they take a little bit longer than some of my other videos because I like to take a bit more time with them to make sure I get it right. And also, the Fighting Frogs Sea of Thieves ship set is now available in Sea of Thieves if you are interested in that. If you want to know how you can get your hands on that set, then check out my How to Unlock the Fighting Frog set tutorial video on InstallationX for more on that. That's my most recent upload. Right, we're going to get straight into it, squad. We're going to get into the Xbox Treasure Chest of News, and this week we have 3 items in the Treasure Chest of News, and the first one is the big one, and number 1 is a rumour of a $600 Xbox Series X could spell potential problems for Microsoft. This comes via Forbes. This is a very small article from Forbes, but I felt it was important to kind of talk about because there's been a lot of, I guess, anxiety and impatience in the community at the moment based around the fact that we are nearly at the end of August. We still haven't heard anything about the price of, to be fair, of either the Series X or the PlayStation 5. Everyone's kind of starting to get out their theories and thoughts on what's going to happen. Why is it taking them so long? Sony and Microsoft have played this game of chicken way too long. We want pre-orders, all this kind of stuff. But I felt it was important to kind of sit back and reflect on what could potentially be going on further on and basically add in my thoughts as well. So, gaming journalist / podcaster / host Alana Pierce. Alana Pierce is a very respectable journalist. She worked at IGN. She's fantastic. Was on the Kind of Funny Xcast and said that she was DM'd by someone working in retail that showed her a photo of their internal screen that gave a November release date for the Series X, and it said the price was $599. Now, granted, this is complete speculation. We don't know the source of it that gave this information to Alana. We can't really trust it that much, but I think it's important to kind of consider why $600, which would probably ultimately end up being around about £500, a £500 price point, if not more, here in the UK, depending on exchange rates and whatnot. Thanks, Brexit. Anyway. A lot of people are thinking that $600 is a price point which we can expect from the Series X and Microsoft, purely because of how absolutely insane the internals of this console is and how much horsepower is under the hood. Okay, they've not skimped on this console. They have made the premium console, the best console experience, hopefully, and the most powerful console ever made. They're not backing away from this. And people are thinking that because they've put so much into this console, it's going to come at a cost. Now, historically, any console that has launched north of $500, or even at $500, hasn't performed well at all. Now, we can look back at that, right? The PlayStation 4 launched at $399. The Xbox One launched at $499. Now, the main factor in that was the fact that the Xbox One was bundled with the Kinect that I think a lot of people did not give a damn about. It was forcefully bundled in, racked the price up. Guess what? Sony undercut Microsoft by $100. The PS4 steamrolled, right? Now, a lot of that was also to do with the fact that the Xbox One launch sucked. I've spoken about that many times. The fact that the policies of the Xbox One were very restrictive at the time. Sony and the PlayStation 4 just basically took everything bad that Microsoft did and completely countered it and made the console cheaper, and guess what? Bang, it went and it ran away, and the Xbox One never recovered. Now, I think $600 is very bad. And I'll explain why. The PlayStation 5 might even be at $600. I would be very surprised if Sony priced it that high, but it could be. They could both be very expensive pieces of tech in terms of consoles. No, not in the grand scheme of things. There's lots of pieces of tech more expensive than consoles. But in the console space, $600 is expensive. We're usually used to the traditional kind of maybe $400 to $500 or £300 to £400 here in the UK, and then after a while things start dropping down a little bit lower. You know, a year later they both get price drops, or a couple of years later we get a Slim or an S version, and the price drops even further. Right? $600 is not a good price point for Microsoft, and importantly for Microsoft, right? Do I think Sony can get away with a $600 PlayStation 5? Yes, I do. I don't think they will, but I think they can. And the reason why they can is because they have a massive amount of quality exclusives that people care about from this generation that are going to carry on into next generation. That's one. Two is the fact that they have a massive market share. And it's likely as if someone in a friendship group goes, I'm getting a PlayStation 5, other friends in that friendship group will go, okay, I'll get a PS5 as well. And then suddenly you start getting the snowball effect again. Now, I don't think the progress of the PlayStation 5 will be as quick as the PlayStation 4 if that happens. I think it will be a lot slower. But Microsoft going toe-to-toe at a $600 price point, they're going to come off second best. Okay, and I'll explain why. Microsoft this generation are doing something that they've never really done before. Okay, they are taking the exclusivity away from the console. Okay, you can agree or disagree with that as much as you want. I always think what they are doing with the Xbox platform and how they are developing it, how they're evolving it and adapting it, the ability for me to be able to play my Xbox games across devices, the ability to take my Xbox games on the road with me when I'm traveling or when I'm at my friend's or family's house, you know, on my Android phone. I love it. I love all of it. I love the connectivity. I like the fact that it's becoming universal across all the devices. That's what I want, and that's why I'm embedded in this ecosystem. But for many people, that's not what they're looking for from a console. They're looking for, what's the reason for me to get this console? And a lot of people will turn around and go, so what games has this console got that this console doesn't have, and therefore give me the reason to buy it? That's the problem that Microsoft now have. Because they've done away essentially with exclusivity of the Series X, and now have brought that exclusivity to the platform, to Game Pass, that reason is now gone. So you have to give people a different reason to invest in your piece of hardware. Why should I get an Xbox Series X if I can play these games on these devices instead? Well, and that's where they've got to come up with a second solution. And I've always said that second solution has to be the price. I think a lot of people have understated how much price had an effect on the launch of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I think price had a massive amount to do with it. The fact that the PlayStation 4 was cheaper was a big, big deal. And the fact that we're rolling out of a global pandemic, which is still affecting many people in many different countries now, if Microsoft can turn up and go, guess what, guys? Our console is $100 cheaper than their console, and you get all these added bonuses as well. Join us, or stay with us. That's what they need to try and do. I'm still confident that Microsoft will be able to undercut Sony. I still think they're going to do it, which is why they're waiting so long. I think Microsoft are waiting for Sony to go first. And I think they are almost like pressuring Sony and basically going, go on, go. Because you're going to run out of time. Just go. And Sony at some point are going to have to bite the bullet and they're going to have to go, right, we just need to go. And just get it out and done with. Now, Sony have got an advantage in the fact that they have announced both the PlayStation 5 Standard Edition and the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. Now, I think everyone and their nan is expecting the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition to be a bit more cheaper than the PlayStation 5 Standard Edition. I think that's one of the main reasons why that console exists. Now, Jim Ryan can come out and talk about how there's more digital sales on PlayStation consoles, blah, 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 blah. We understand that, but you can still buy digital games on a disc drive console. That doesn't affect you buying digital games. You've made this console to make it cheaper, to be more competitive. That's one of the main reasons behind that console. And that's not a criticism, it's good business. At the end of the day, it's a very, very smart move, and it's the right move. Because Microsoft are doing exactly the same thing. They're doing the same thing with the Series S, which is all but real now. It's the worst kept secret in gaming currently that exists. Okay, so now you've got to ask, well, where are all the price points of these potentially 4 new consoles going to stack up? 4 consoles we could have launching in November. Really, that's mental. So I think if the Series X is going to be competitive with the PlayStation 5, it has to at least be on parity. So let's say the PlayStation 5 aims for $500 US dollars. Okay? I think the Series X has to match that minimum. Minimum. Has to match it. If not, undercut it. So let's say we have the Series X and the standard edition of the PlayStation 5 at $500. Okay? I would expect probably the PlayStation 5 digital edition to be anywhere between $400 to $450. It depends on how much they're going to try and shave off. How much they can afford to shave off the digital edition. Let's say the digital edition is at $400. Okay? That's still a very good console. That's a competitive price. Then the Series S, I think, is going to come in even cheaper than that. It's going to come in at $300. Maybe $350. But I think if Microsoft really, really want to go to town with Sony, and they want to say, this console is here to stay. We are here to stay in the hardware market. We are going to be competitive, even if we've changed our complete strategy. The complete left field would be if they match the price of the digital edition of the PlayStation 5. Now, I think that is going to be a stretch. And they're going to be losing a significant amount of money. But it's whether they see the projections of the growth of the platform and the projections and the growth of Game Pass and just generally the backing of Microsoft as an entire entity is going to be able to supplement that loss that they could make from the console. Because Phil Spencer's gone on record multiple times. The money's not in the hardware. The money's in the software. And it's a case of where if Microsoft can see that they're going to be able to make up that money elsewhere with Game Pass subscriptions, with microtransactions, with, you know, I would say Xbox Live, but the Xbox Live's kind of up in the air at the moment. That's the curiosity around this. So $600 I think is bad. I don't want $600. I think the Series X will be washed away at $600. And I think we're going to see the same scenario play out like we saw 7 years. And I would absolutely hate if after all their good work this generation, to get Xbox back in a competitive space, to get Xbox being a real buzz around it again, with backwards compatibility, with Game Pass, with the studio acquisitions, with some of the really good exclusives we know are coming further down the road. We've got lots to look forward to. The last thing we need to be now is slapped around the face with a $600 price tag, and all that goodwill just go up in flames. I don't think they'll do that. I'm hoping this is a placeholder. We've seen placeholders for a $700 PlayStation 5 a couple of months ago. Like, it's really up in the air. But I'm hoping that both Sony and Microsoft, for Xbox and PlayStation fans, get this information to us as soon as possible, so it can just be done with. So we just know where everything stands, where everything plays out, where it all sits neatly, and then we can make those decisions. I know what I'm going to be doing because I'm going to be buying the Series X because I'm an Xbox fan. And I'm hoping people who are listening to the show are also going to do the same, if not play on their PC. But we will have to wait and see. So, that's that one. Moving into item number 2, the new Xbox experience has been revealed and it is looking awesome. This is from Xbox Wire. So the new Xbox experience has been announced by Microsoft, and I'm going to take a few abstracts from an article over on Xbox Wire. I've tried to trim it down because it was a little bit long. So, all the ways you experience Xbox should feel inviting and familiar, whether you're on the couch playing on your console, rallying a group of friends together from your PC, or sneaking into a quick session on your Android device via cloud gaming. The new Xbox look and feel is designed to be faster to use, more approachable and visually appealing. This holiday it will be shared across all Xbox mobile apps, Xbox Game Pass on PC, and of course Xbox One and Xbox Series X consoles. Text is more readable, elements on screen are easier to understand at a glance, and accomplishing your task is faster than ever. This includes tile-shaped fonts, an updated illustration style, and more. The overall layout of most of the console pages remains familiar, just faster and more focused. We're also there to support your gaming questions no matter the place or time. From Xbox Assist on your console to Xbox support on the web to Xbox Game Pass on your phone or PC, you can get any help you need and be back to gaming as quickly as possible. Xbox Series X will set a new bar for speed when it launches this November, and we're taking the same approach to accelerate experiences across Xbox. The Xbox Velocity architecture and quick resume technology make the games quicker to launch, and we also wanted to make them faster to discover, talk about, and download. Even while you're away from your console, your phone, PC, or console all working together. Any time you have available to spend gaming is valuable, and we wanted to ensure it was time spent playing, not waiting. The home screen will load more than 50% faster when you boot your Xbox, and is almost 30% faster to load when you're returning from a game. Furthermore, these improvements use 40% less memory than what previously required. Early this month, we unveiled the new Microsoft Store on the console, rebuilt with your feedback in mind, and it's fast. We've cut the app launch time to about 2 seconds, and updated navigation makes it quicker and easier to find what you're looking for. It's easy to understand at a glance what's included or discounted with any membership you have, like Xbox Game Pass. We've got a new Xbox mobile app in the works, and we're better integrating your phone into the social experiences on Xbox, letting you share and connect with your existing network of friends more easily. For example, when you choose to share an update or game clip from your console, it will also automatically be sent to your Xbox mobile app, so you can share it on other social networks of your choice. Using the new mobile app, Xbox friends can quickly send messages or launch parties to keep conversations going, even when they're on the go. We've also consolidated notifications which will reflect activity across mobile, PC, and console. We combined related activities like parties and chats into a single tab in the Xbox console guide, so it's easier to know what's going on with your friends and communities. A first look at this, it looks really, really streamlined, and I'm liking that a lot. One of the biggest features that I'm really excited for is the ability to share things straight to your phone. You know, for promotional stuff on InstallationX, like on Instagram and Twitter, you know, trying to get something that I did on my console over to my phone or especially for Instagram on my phone, maybe my laptop for Twitter, it's such a faff at the moment. So the ability to just ping something straight to my phone and share it instantly is just fantastic. I'm absolutely loving that. There are a couple of things that weren't really mentioned in this that we are going to see. You are going to be able to run, it looks like, animated backgrounds on your Xbox home screen, which is awesome and really, really exciting. You know, stuff like the Halo Infinite animated artwork that we saw, like stuff like that, is going to work brilliantly on the backdrop of your home screen, which is awesome. I love the fact it's also going to be universal across all the devices. I think that's really important. The fact that you're going to have the same thing on your mobile, on your PC, on the game bar, I would assume, and on Xbox Live on your console as well is really, really important. And I'm really liking the fact that they're putting a lot of attention into these things to make them just easier to use. I've always liked the Xbox One Dash, especially since it got updated early on in the generation. I've never really had a problem with it. The fact that it's going to be familiar but more effective and faster is great. I haven't really run into too many issues with things booting up longer in the home screen. It's usually problems with games booting up, but that's going to be virtually eliminated thanks to the power of the Xbox Series X, which I am buzzing for, because my Sea of Thieves load times are horrendous. They're rubbish. And ultimately, look, we're going to have to wait and see what this is like when we actually get the console in our hands. And I think, unfortunately, thanks to the COVID pandemic and everything that's been thrown around this year, a lot of the things that we would have hopefully got our hands on previously, we're not going to be able to at the moment, which is a shame. But we're going to have to take a bit of a gamble. But I know that I'm going to buy the Series X anyway, so it's a gamble that I'm perfectly happy to make. And finally, item number 3, Phil Spencer speaks on bringing more third parties to Xbox Game Pass. This comes via VGC. So in an interview, Spencer suggested that Game Pass could play a key role in its Xbox Series X's launch in the absence of Halo. Obviously, Halo Infinite got delayed back to 2021. We lost the big launch game for, big first-party launch game for the Series X. So it's kind of a bit like, well, what next? Spencer told Gary Whitta's Animal Talking Twitch show, quote, "What you'll see from us around the launch of the console, frankly, isn't going to change too much, because you were going to hear a lot about the console and a lot about Game Pass and how we think those two things together are a real great value proposition for gamers going into the next generation." He said, quote, "I'd say the positive for us, both through the May showcase and the summer showcase and the July showcase, has been the rise of importance for us in Game Pass. Quote, as you go out and we talk to our customers, it's becoming a real decision maker for people that are on our platform and people's evaluation of Xbox Series X as a console for them. Our investment in Game Pass and the portfolio continues to be strong. The exec continued, quote, "We've got some more really great, strong announcements to come about things coming to Game Pass." So, obviously we know Halo Infinite got delayed. It's a problem for the console. It's not a problem for the game. Halo Infinite needed this time, clearly needed the time. Take all the time you want. The Series X, though, has lost its big kind of, hey, this is what this console's capable of game. Now, I've always said for quite a while now, the holy grail for me of Xbox Game Pass is if Microsoft are able to get a major third-party game or major third-party publisher to launch their game in Game Pass day one. That is the big, holy shit moment if they were able to do that. Let's say you have, let's take, I don't know, Suicide Squad, right? The new Suicide Squad game coming from Rocksteady, I believe. I think it's Rocksteady? Yeah, Rocksteady are doing the Suicide Squad game, and then WB Montreal are doing the Gotham Knights game. I'm pretty sure that's right. They were recently announced at the DC fan show. Let's say Suicide Squad comes to Game Pass day one. It launches to 10 plus million gamers day one. A lot of those gamers are going to play that game. A lot. And I think that's the big thing that I'm kind of waiting for with Game Pass is, what is the holy shit moment where we go, oh my god, that is a massive power play. Xbox Game Pass is the future. It's not going anywhere. Now, the problem you have is the other major third-party publishers with their own major franchises, they're already trying to get their piece of the pie, because EA has Origins, Ubi has Uplay Plus, don't really know how that's doing. So you've got to kind of look to maybe a Bethesda or a Warner Brothers or a Take-Two or a Square Enix, right? That's what you're kind of looking for. You're looking to see if one of those publishers are going to take the really, really bold move and go, we see the genuine impact of Game Pass. We see the genuine value in Game Pass. We're going to launch our game day one in the service, just like the first party games are. Because that would be fucking huge. If it's a big game, not any game could do it. It has to be a significant game that has a reputation in history at being successful to go, we're going to do it. Because Game Pass is only going to continue to grow. It's more than 10 million players now. It has to be. Especially with all the announcements that every game on the July showcase was going to be in Game Pass. 22 games when they launch going to be on Game Pass. And a lot of them are launching this fall. The Medium, Destiny Beyond, is it Beyond Light? I think that's coming. Scorn's going to be coming soon as well. There's a lot of games that are going to be launching straight into Game Pass. I mean, this month alone, we've had Battletoads, Tell Me Why, and Wasteland 3. They're coming out later this week on console, and then Flight Sim on PC. And I haven't really talked about Flight Sim because I haven't played it, but Flight Sim is turning out to be a fantastic, phenomenal game. That's what I think they're going to have to do. Now, the problem that I have worry with Phil's point is that we've often been sold this really big, significant announcement, and then actually it turns out to be kind of a bit of a it's just a meh announcement. That was the problem that we had in May. May was hyped up to be this, it's going to be the first look at the Series X gameplay, and then it really, really wasn't. Now, yeah, some of the games that were announced look really, really cool, but it wasn't hyped up to be what you said it was to be. And so I think Phil needs to be careful, because when he says about focusing on third parties and making big announcements, for me that's saying you're going and getting a big game, or you're making a deal to bring that game to launch in Game Pass as well as launching globally on other markets. So that's the real thing here. And I think as Game Pass continues to grow and develop, we could see that. I'm hoping they put a lot of effort into getting third parties onto the platform. I think that's really, really important, and into Game Pass. And I think we're seeing that. But I think we've seen that with games that have, are looking for a second wave, a new lease of life, as it were. Like, we've seen Bethesda have supported Game Pass a lot, right? They've put in Elder Scrolls Online, they put in Fallout 4, they put in Doom, they put in Wolfenstein. Was Dishonored in there at any point? I'm not quite sure. But the thing what Bethesda have done, well, we're going to put our previous title in Game Pass to drum up hype for our new title. So they put Doom 2016 in the service to hype up for Doom Eternal. They put Fallout 4 in the service to hype up Fallout 76. That's kind of how they've been doing it. But then we've seen lately that they're going after big games because they went and got Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar. And Take-Two publishes Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm pretty sure they do. They went and made that deal, which was a big deal. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't that long after Red Dead Redemption 2 had come out that it's now in Game Pass. That's a big deal. GTA 5 they got. Yeah, okay, GTA 5 is 7 years old and it's probably not going to go away for a while, but it's still a significant game. So I'm hoping they keep doing that, but I want them to try and get newer games into the service. Newer games that are still thriving and not dropping off, and the developers and publishers hoping to get more players into them. I want a really kind of full-blooded third-party beast to be in Game Pass day one, but we'll have to wait and see if we see that. Right, we're going to move into Game Pass gems. We have got a lot going on in Xbox Game Pass this week, which is so it's kind of taken the position of Xbox Store Stash this week, because the Xbox Store Stash is, I've kind of left that out for this week because there's so much going on in Game Pass. So new additions into Game Pass. We've obviously got Microsoft Flight Simulator for PC only. That is now in the service for PC. So if you've got a PC, and preferably a beefy PC, because it apparently takes a lot to run it at very high fidelity, then you can get Microsoft Flight Simulator on PC. It's been doing very, very well so far. From Xbox Game Studios, available with the Xbox Game Pass PC or Ultimate on day one. From light planes to wide-body jets, fly highly detailed and accurate aircraft in the next generation of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Test your piloting skills against the challenges of real-world atmospheric simulation and live weather in a dynamic and living world. The world is at your fingertips. We have Spiritfarer, available on console and PC. This is an ID Xbox game that is now available. This is available now. Learn how to say goodbye in this cozy management game about dying. Playing as Stella the Spiritfarer, build a boat to explore an imaginative world in search of spirits seeking passage to the afterlife. Befriend and care for your passengers as you farm, mine, fish, harvest, cook, and craft your way across mystical seas on your handcrafted ferry. Run, jump, zip, and glide your way through elegantly constructed platforming levels. Bring along a friend to join the fun as Daffodil the Cat in optional 2-player local co-op. Spend relaxing quality time with your spirit passengers, create lasting memories, and ultimately learn how to say goodbye to your cherished spirit friends. We obviously have Battletoads is now live on Xbox Game Pass. This is for console and PC. From Xbox Game Studios, available with Xbox Game Pass on day one. The wait is over. Rash, Zitz, and Pimple are returning at last to smash hit their way through an all-new action-packed adventure of choreographed chaos, and couch co-op may never be the same again. 1 to 3 players will take control of the Battletoads and team up to storm through wild and unpredictable stages with only one rule: expect the unexpected. Teamwork makes the dream work in a drop-in, drop-out gameplay blast filled with over-the-top gameplay moments that anyone can enjoy, but only a true Toad can master. We have Crossing Souls available on PC. This is an ID Xbox game. This is now live. It's 1986 in California, and a group of friends will live the summer of their lives after a mysterious discovery in the woods outside their quiet town. By uncovering an artifact whose powers they don't fully understand, these remarkable kids will defy the laws of nature and somehow interact between two planes of reality, life and death. Their curiosity will trigger a series of unexpected events that will get them involved in a government conspiracy and a mysterious US Army general with his own nefarious plans. We have Darksiders Genesis. This is available for PC, now live. Darksiders Genesis is an action-adventure game that tears its way through hordes of demons, angels, and everything in between on its way to hell and back with guns blazing and swords swinging. Genesis gives players their first look at the world of Darksiders before the events of the original game. Furthermore, it introduces the fourth and last Horseman, Strife, as well as co-op gameplay for the first time in the history of the franchise. We have Don't Starve Giant Edition. This is available for console and PC. It is now available. Don't Starve Giant Edition is an uncompromising wilderness survival game full of science and magic. You play as Wilson, an intrepid gentleman scientist who's been trapped by a demon and transported to a mysterious wilderness world. Wilson must learn to exploit his environment and its inhabitants if he ever hopes to escape and find his way back home. Don't Starve Giant Edition includes the original hit game Don't Starve and the Reign of Giants expansion, which adds new playable characters, seasonal bosses, weather conditions, new biomes, creatures, and more. We have new Super Lucky's Tale available for console and PC. That is now available. Join Lucky on his thrilling journey through the Book of Ages, a magical artifact that opens doors to amazing worlds. Meet new friends, explore exciting lands, and recover the missing pages from an evil sorcerer Jinx and his villainous family, the dreaded Kitty Litter. A complete reimagining of the original Super Lucky's Tale with new content, an improved story, and major overhauls to the camera and player controls. New Super Lucky's Tale is the definitive Lucky experience and a love letter to classic 3D platformers. Then we have Hypnospace Outlaw. This is for console and PC, ID Xbox title, available on August the 27th. Hypnospace Outlaw is a 90s internet simulator in which you scour Hypnospace's wide variety of weird and wonderful websites to hunt down wrongdoers, while also keeping an eye on your inbox, avoiding viruses and adware, and downloading a plethora of apps that may or may not be useful. In your spare time, you can customize your non-OS, that's weird how they've done that, desktop however you see fit, with a variety of downloads, wallpapers, screensavers, and helpers bots to keep you company. Then on August 27th, we have Tell Me Why Chapter 1. I'm very much looking forward to this. Console and PC. From Xbox Game Studios, available with Xbox Game Pass on day one. Tell Me Why is the latest narrative adventure game from Don't Nod Entertainment, the studio behind the beloved franchise Life is Strange. In this intimate mystery, twins Allison and Tyler Ronan use their supernatural bond to unravel the memories of their loving but troubled childhood in beautiful small town Alaska. Double Kick Heroes is available console and PC. This is an ID Xbox game, August 28th. Double Kick Heroes mixes a shoot 'em up with a rhythm game. In story mode, you must survive on the highway to hell by killing monsters with your Gundalak. Struggle through the 30 levels of total madness and escape from this nightmare. Only the power of metal can save your band. In arcade mode, jump right into the action and play your favourite tracks from the game. Features double kick zombies in the face with insane metal music. Then we have on August 28th, Wasteland 3 comes to console and PC. From Xbox Game Studios, available with Xbox Game Pass on day one. Wasteland 3 is the squad-based RPG from InXile Entertainment, featuring challenging tactical turn-based combat and a deep reactive story full of twists, turns, and brutal ethical decisions that will keep you hooked whether you're a Wasteland veteran or new to the series. Create a squad of up to 6 rangers and customize them with perks and abilities geared to your playstyle. Then we have Crusader Kings 3, which is available on PC. It's an ID Xbox game available on September the 1st. This grand strategy game puts you at the head of a noble house in a deeply researched medieval world. Use your armies, your diplomacy, and your wit to expand and elevate your dynasty. Each generation brings new characters and new challenges as pesky plotters, turbulent priests, and ungrateful children challenge your efforts to keep your realm and your family in line. And then finally, on September the 3rd for console and PC, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Menace and desperation see through the rotting walls of an abandoned southern farmhouse. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard marks a new beginning for survival horror with a shift in an immersive first-person perspective. Powered by the RE engine, graphics reach new heights and incredible photorealism to further draw players into the disturbing game world. A couple of other things as well. Minecraft Jurassic World DLC is now available. We have some new perks, I believe. I'm trying to find them. Oh, nothing specific. It's just kind of rehash of the old stuff. And leaving soon, so that you are aware, we have leaving the 31st of August. We have Creature in the Well for console and PC. Gianna Sisters Twisted Dream Director's Cut for console. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD for console. So get on those if you haven't done those yet. Metro Last Light Redux console. That's leaving. The Jackbox Party Pack 3 on console is also leaving. Leaving on September the 1st is NBA 2K20 for console, so if you haven't finished that yet, get on that. And of course, leaving on September the 7th, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 for console. That stay is finished. And then finally, for our Games with Gold Hoarders update, just a reminder, Portal Knights is available from August 1st to August 31st on Xbox One. Override Mech City Brawl is available August 16th to September 15th on Xbox One. And Red Faction 2 is available August 16th to August 31st on Xbox One and Xbox 360. Well, that concludes this week's episode, squad. If you enjoyed it, then please make sure you leave a like, you head over to InstallationX and subscribe, and you hit that bell for notifications for more Xbox content. Let me know your thoughts on anything that was discussed in this week's episode in the comments section. Don't forget to follow myself and the channel on social media with links in the description. And as always, I'm Sykes, and for all things Xbox, stay tuned to InstallationX. Bye, guys.